The pressure is coming from you, my love, because somewhere along the way, consciously or unconsciously, you decided that everything is your responsibility.
Hey babe, I'm Brooke Jean, licensed therapist, coach, mama, and your straight talking guide to ditching the pressure and living a life unperfected. I've coached some of the top C-suite women in America, women leading billion-dollar companies while secretly falling apart. I've been her. I blend psychology, neuroscience, and energetics with lived experience to help high-achieving women actually heal, so that they can access their infinite energy, creativity, and vitality. If you're a perfection-obsessed woman who's checked every damn box, career, family, house, 401k, but still feels low-key dead inside, you're in the right place. Here, we rip off the good girl mask, call out the BS, and build a life that actually feels like yours. We talk healing, we talk revealing, we talk rising, and we do it raw, real, and unfiltered. This is the Unperfected Pod.
So for some of us, it might be a feeling, like a heaviness in our body, a tightness in our chest, a nauseousness in our belly, this like urge to like, sometimes this is how I experience pressure. I have this immense urge to like hurry up and do things, but then zero energy to back up that plan. You guys are all nodding yes. Like, this elephant is not actually getting up and doing that because she is feeling heavy and strong right here, right now, right? But pressure can also be really mental. So it's that never ending loop in your brain about, I need to do more and I'm behind and it wasn't good enough and I'm not going to catch up in the worst case scenario. And this like, it needs to be better. It needs to be better. I need to look at that again. I need. So it can be a loop, right? But it's definitely also an energy suck. It is stealing our energy, which is a big reason why we're going from pressure to power. Because when you reclaim all the energy that it takes to host the pressure and you pour it into a couple of freaking things, brah, you can write a book with that. You can record an album with that. You could for sure go to yoga 2 times a week, honey. For sure. Okay? Um, the last thing that it's doing is totally cock blocking your creativity. So when we are wound up in pressure, we are not open to receive the information that we have in our bodies or any information that you receive spiritually. When you're on the hamster wheel and vibrating at anxiety, all of your channels of communication to your intuition and the divine of your own understanding turned off. So the messages are coming in, and guess who's not hearing them? They'd be ricocheting. You could be manifesting things, and guess who's not seeing them? They're ricocheting. So we are wasting so much precious time, energy, and sanity on this pressure that we have, that it's not enough, that we need to do more, that we need to be more, that we need to look different, that we need to have more clients, we need to make more money, we need to spend more quality time with our kids, we need to find the one, we need to blah, 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 blah. Now, what's causing the pressure? Here's where I'm not going to be your best friend for just 30 seconds. It's you. Now, we love to blame God, Mother Nature, the universe, Earth, politics, the economy. That's my favorite one. Our parents, our husbands and wives, our bosses. We love a good deflection, sweeties. That is just human nature. but it doesn't actually help us solve the problem. You see, the pressure that you're putting on yourself, it's coming from you deciding, consciously or unconsciously, that all of it, and we'll get to what all of it is your responsibility. I'm going to say that again. The pressure is coming from you, my love, because somewhere along the way, consciously or unconsciously, you decided that everything is your responsibility. Oof, right? That's a gut punch. All of it. Your stuff, your responsibility. Your children's emotions and outcomes, your responsibility. Your partner's emotions and outcomes, your responsibility. The team that your kid plays on, your responsibility. The team that you're a part of, your responsibility. The collective, your responsibility. Why? Well, because we were taught as girls to literally solve problems for people before they were even verbalized. What? Like we're supposed to walk in a room and read the energy and read the emotions and get in front of the people that need us to do a fucking dog and pony show, and so must be hungry, so let me give them a snack, and so must need space, so let me like orchestrate the dynamic. Raise your hand if you do any of these things. Do you know how much energy we're spending solving problems nobody asked us to solve? Oh my gosh. And you know why we do that? To be loved, to be included, to be accepted, to not burden. I don't know how I went from not wanting to burden to solving the world's problems before they even named them. I don't know exactly how I made that leap. I think it's just a compounded superpower that becomes an ailment over time, right? So we've made ourselves responsible for everybody's emotions and outcomes. And part of that is because we can't handle how it feels if other people around us aren't happy. So the energy doesn't need to be spent making other people happy, because that's a never-ending hamster wheel. The energy is spent giving people back their stuff and growing our capacity to hold whatever. We don't want to hold nothing. Ambiguity? Mm-mm. I need to, not only do I want you to be okay, I need to know you're okay. I don't only want you to be healthy, I need to know you're healthy, right? So we've made everything our responsibility. And like I said earlier, because we're intuitive and sensitive to energy as women, we can sense things, but we've made it our responsibility to do something about it. And that's where we're overextending. We're also trying to live up to this expectation that we've allowed to infiltrate our belief system, that it needs to be more and it needs to be better and it needs to be on a certain timeline and how it looks needs to be this way. Like we've subscribed to this culture of I need to do it and I need to do it this way until now. And here's where we unsubscribe from the keeping up culture. Here's where we unsubscribe from the ideals of perfect woman, perfect body, perfect wife, perfect home, perfect mother. And we decide that we are powerful creators of our own reality, and what matters most to us is the most important thing. Because when a woman is in her aliveness, when a woman is in her alignment and in joy, there is nothing more powerful. There's all sorts of studies coming out right now that are showing that, like, the mother's joy, like her happiness level, is more impactful on how children do than their socioeconomic status, where they went to school, their diet that they ate, right? So we need women turned on, turned up, and in their effing power now more than ever. Would you guys agree? Yes. And so we can't do that though, guys, until we take personal responsibility in our part. Because if we blame and point the finger, we're disempowering ourselves. Once you decide, wait a minute, even if I have these circumstances that are for sure challenging and traumatic, even if I have this disadvantage, I am responsible for my own happiness and my outcomes. And I'm also not responsible for everyone else's on the planet. Okay? So I feel like when we hit these points, a lot of times women, like, we know intuitively that we should leave that relationship, or we should switch careers, or we should move, or we should have a conversation with a friend, or we should terminate an employee. Like, we know moves that we need to make, and we talk ourselves out of them because it's not convenient for everybody. And so what we do as women is we wait till the universe kicks us in the tits, and we have to. We have to. Like my mentee B that happened at 33. Okay? I didn't leave Target like because I was just ready. I left because I burnt out. Okay? Sometimes we don't pivot until our partner asks for a divorce, or we get fired from our job, or there's a sickness in our family. But we don't have to wait until those things happen. The pressure is letting you know you're ready for a shift. You don't have to blow your life up, my loves. Okay? In fact, I don't recommend that. Some women wait too long, and then you wonder why they ran to Mexico and changed their identity. I used to really judge those women when I was younger, and now that I'm in my mid-40s and a mother of two, I'm starting to understand why that exists. Okay? Let's not wait until let's not wait until we literally are so unhappy that we have autoimmune diseases, and we literally, like, can't get through the day without panic attacks. We're literally just in a self-defeating spiral all day, every day, and we start drinking too much, or whatever your addiction is. We all have them. And then we just abandon our teams, our families, whatever. The pressure is letting you know, honey, it's time for a pivot. It's time for a switch. But it doesn't have to be burn the house down. So now here's where we get stuck. Is people say, like my clients will say, but I don't know what I need to do. I don't know what I want. And that's real. You actually do know. You do know. It's just been buried. It's been buried. So when we're so busy spiraling and overthinking and underfeeling, and we're so busy hosting a dysregulated nervous system and blocking our creativity, yeah, your truth isn't bubbling up. And even if it is, it's sucking right back down because you've ignored it for so many decades that it doesn't even really try that hard anymore. So you know who you are and what you want. You just have to still and quiet the whole ship down as a practice. This is not a one-hit wonder, honeys. Get into stillness, regulate your nervous system, slow down your brain waves, connect to the earth, open your heart, connect to the stars, breathe deep, dance if you want, shake if you want, scream if you want, pound it out if you want, and then ask these existential questions. And when the truth bubbles up, for the love of God, do not dismiss it. Even if you write it down and table it for 10 years later, honey. But so many of us, as women, we've been dissociated from our bodies since we were like 11, which is literally heartbreaking to me because our power, our superpower, all of our power is in our bodies. But most of us have been at war with our bodies since we were adolescent girls, maybe even younger. And so what happens is we turn on our bodies and we start starving our bodies or poisoning our bodies or hating our bodies or flooding our bodies with adrenaline and cortisol because of our inner critic going on and 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 on. And we disconnect from our most powerful ally. And she tries to tell us, honey, leave that relationship, stop eating whatever the fuck's making you poop your pants, bananas, dairy, I don't know. Stop drinking. You need to live in a different climate. This stress is wreaking havoc. Ooh, this isn't the best place to work. We're having headaches. Your brain tries to tell you, but what do? We toughen up and we literally gaslight ourselves. That's not a big deal. That's not a problem. Everybody does it. Everyone should be able to do it. And we carry on. We carry on with the rubric that the world has set for us. And then we wonder why we're sick. And we wonder why we're so fatigued. And we wonder why our mental health is in the shitter. You can't be living someone else's dream and be genuinely happy. You can have moments. Absolutely. But at some point, and this is something that I really believe as a therapist, there's a lot of things that cause anxiety. One of them, and one that I believe is the most prevalent, is you're not living the life that you're destined for. And your anxiety is telling you, we're off course here, babes. Ooh, this isn't safe here, babes. Ooh, we're not living in our truth here, babes. And you will keep having anxiety until you let yourself live the way you want to live. And I know there's all sorts of obstacles to that, and that's what I help people work through in my programs. Is it like, okay, sure, we can unearth the truth and even maybe try to honor it, but then boom, here comes this obstacle and that. Yes, we work through those things. So what I want to do now is I want to take you guys through a process to help you get some clarity. So I want you to think about one thing in your life right now, and it doesn't have to be massive and existential. If you want it to be, it can be, but if you want to do something just a little less like intense and big, then you can do that. But what is a decision that you've been stuck on lately? Thank you so, so much. Take care of yourselves, the golf clap, and each other. And I will see you all very, very soon. Bye.
Hey boo, if you made it this far, I know you're serious about healing, revealing, and rising, living a life unperfected. Just by showing up, you're telling the universe, I matter, I'm ready. So don't be surprised if things start shifting in your favor. If this episode moved you, do me a favor, rate and review the podcast on Apple or Spotify. It helps us reach more high-achieving, high-performing women who are ready to stop pretending and start living. And if something really landed, DM me on Instagram at Brooke Jean Unperfected or share a clip and tag me. I want to see what's moving through you. And hey, don't forget, you can watch this episode on YouTube and join my brand new VidMe membership for exclusive content, coaching, and community for only $35 a month. We're not just talking about rising, we're doing it together.